everyone, and welcome back to Scandalous Media. It's Angela here, and today we are talking about the insanity that is Nicki Minaj's latest feud with Megan Thee Stallion. The feud has reached new levels, and honestly, it seems like a Minaj mental breakdown to say the least, but be sure to tell me what side you're on and why by the end of the video. Here is everything you need to know about the feud and more. Before we start, be sure to like and subscribe for new content each week. Follow us on our social media where we post short videos every few days to recap trending pop culture news, and without further ado, let's begin. Now for context, Nicki is 41 years old and Megan is 28. A grown woman is ripping apart another woman to shreds online over a lyric that is basically saying, "Well, if the shoe fits." My Roman Empire is iconic celebrities and their extremely messed up downfall. From the likes of Kanye West to Nicki Minaj, it's all so sad.
In the music.
Are you okay?
I'm going to recap everything you have to know, so be sure to stay tuned until the end where I talk about Cardi B and how Megan's friendship with Cardi may have played a role in her fallout with Nicki, alongside all of Nicki's insane novel tweets, Instagram lives, the Bigfoot diss track, and so much more.
To be honest, this is so obvious. She wanted a Rihanna moment so bad.
Hiss and Megan's Law, which led Nicki Minaj into an online spiral. The feud picked up when Megan debuted her latest single, Hiss, where fans believe that Megan mocked Nicki and her husband when Megan raps, "These don't be mad at Megan, these mad at Megan's Law." Which was a bar that had everyone in shambles, especially Nicki. Nicki's husband, Kenny Petty, is a registered, offender, and he pleaded guilty about what he did to a teenage girl. He's literally not allowed in parks or any places where there are underage kids. Megan's Law is named after a 7-year-old Megan Kanka who suffered a fatal fate from a neighbor, so Megan's Law requires persons convicted of certain crimes against children to notify law enforcement of a change of address or employment. Megan Kanka's father criticized Megan for using his daughter's name in the song, but he also says he doesn't like rap, so he probably doesn't get the vision. He's claiming that he may pursue legal action, but there was nothing he can do because Megan just stated the name of the law. Megan didn't name anyone in Hiss, and the majority of the song is dubbed as a dragging to the men who wronged her, especially Drake, with Meg rapping, "These hate on BBLs and be walking around with the same scars," and another line that says, "Cosplay gangsters, fake accents." Nicki then went on an unhinged rant on Twitter accusing Megan of lying about her dead mother and promoting the Barbs to dox the location of the grave of Megan's mother to go vandalize it. She also went live on Instagram to call Megan a bullet fragment foot bitch and says that the case against Kenneth Petty is old tea.
Fragment foot. Bullet fragment foot. Bullet fragment. She a bullet fragment. Now listen here. Get up on your good foot. Does say get up on your good foot, not your bad foot. What's that? A diss or piss? Said it was hiss, I said piss. My fans called it piss.
Yo, the bitch said all that shit about you, huh?
Y'all mad because y'all don't have somebody that loves you and stand 10 toes down behind you. So you bringing up 30-year-old teeth when this man was a 15-year-old person.
Oh, that's no.
In the sense that, you know what I mean? Like,
Not to mention, Megan didn't even mention Nicki or her husband directly in that song. Nicki just heard that bar and ran with it. If the shoe fits, I guess. When asked about Hiss being about a specific person, Megan said, "Whoever feel it, feel it." Nicki loses it completely. But this was only the beginning of Nicki's insanity, where she truly took it too far with the insults, harmful racist rhetoric when it comes to black women, and more. I mean, she posted an AI gorilla on her Instagram story with an injured foot, insinuating that's Megan, which is a harmful and dangerous rhetoric coming from the same person who talks about harmful and dangerous racist rhetorics. On Instagram Live, Nicki was dragging Megan, saying,
You have 3 Grammys and you have to learn how to rap on the beat and being comfortable in the music.
Then she starts mocking how Megan raps, and please, you have to listen to this. This is a grown 41-year-old woman sitting in her house talking to herself about another woman.
No. Get up up on your good foot.
She sounds like she's losing her mind. She then liked over 100 hate tweets about Megan, all within an hour. Then less than an hour later, she had the audacity to start off her long novel of a tweet with the line, #GagCity does not condone bullying. Then she started writing stats of her latest album and songs because I guess if you're platinum and charting, it gives you an excuse to be a menace online. And then she says this about Megan. Ready? Bear with me. If your last 5 to 10 releases flopped, if the internet checks don't clear outside in real life, if all the paid blogs and paid tweets equal flop after flop after flop after flop album, did y'all run up that Barbie World song they tried? It's bubbling under this week. Video and all didn't crack the Hot 100. It's a bub. They losing so much money with BF, ain't generate not 1 penny of a profit yet and claims she went to college but can't read her contract? Another manipulation so she can kick the curb after they helped her. Did y'all run up her Color Purple song? Nope. Huge VMAs performance. Big video equals flop. Every album she's ever released equals flopped. Paid media all the time. Fraudulent awards equals flopped. Horrible actor that can't cry on cue. Don't try to act bookie, it's a chop. Pathological and manipulative liar.
I don't know what the that was.
Yes, this is all in one tweet. It was a bad day the day Twitter rolled out that feature. Can you imagine being a rapper like Nicki with such a huge legacy, an impressive discography, and a huge following, and from your own Twitter account, you expose yourself stalking the chart stats of another artist who is much younger than you and still making her mark on the industry? And also taking a shot at Megan for being educated with a degree and saying, yeah, she ain't read her contract? It's like insanity. And also I feel like Nicki's projecting a little bit on Megan. Now we want to talk about flops? Mind you, Nicki is sitting over here screaming the word flop, flop, flop. And yet she just got her first solo #1 hit on Billboard with Super Freaky Girl in 2022. She was mad all these years that the girlies that she feuded with, such as Iggy Azalea, Cardi B, and the rest of the rap world, were newcomers who got #1 hits before her. She felt like she was more deserving, and this is something she exposes herself in many of her Twitter rants throughout the years. Now that she's riding the nostalgia train and using sampled beats to try to go viral, all of a sudden it's haha, you're a flop. But when her Queen album in 2018 underperformed and failed to hit #1 on Billboard and only went platinum and failed to produce any #1 hits or any top 5 hits for that matter, suddenly she's okay to call out another artist's stats. And listen, I love Nicki's music. I am that person who will put on Roman's Revenge and have a whole scene with my friends, and every playlist I make on Spotify, there's a Nicki song on it. Because she's just such an icon and a hype artist, but I never got behind her as a person. Since day one when I started my blog in 2013, any information I ever got about Nicki was that she's not a nice person by any means. I never spoke about her because I always found her behavior so embarrassing it wasn't even entertaining for me to give her antics a platform. And she once talked about bullying and tweet, "No tolerance for bullying" in 2019, yet she was bullying Leanne from Little Mix over a fallout with Jessie Nelson of all people.
Take them text messages and shove it up your fucking ass. Because when you do clown I gotta treat you and talk to you like you a clown. If you was in this woman's group and you ain't talk about this 10 years, and as soon as you see she got a video come out with Nicki Minaj and Puffy, now you sending the stations text messages and all this. Print them text messages out. Bust open and shove it up your... Okay?
A feud Nicki couldn't wait to jump on despite the fact that it probably broke Leanne's heart, who was a huge barb. Yet she wants to tweet, if you know someone has been from bullying in the past, why try to get a bunch of people to bully them again about something else on an even bigger scale? Shame on you, that's really sad. You don't know what people can deal with. Mental health.
This can't be serious.
Girl, where's that mental health talk now that you're making AI photos of a gorilla saying that's Megan and tweeting 500 tweets an hour about someone who is literally more than a decade younger than you? And I will revisit the Leanne story because Nicki uses the Tory Lanez trial against Megan and brings up her former best friend Kelsey and what Megan did to Kelsey, so I'm going to talk about that as well later on in the video, so stay with me. Now let's go back to Nicki's tweets. Nicki's unhinged meltdown on Twitter. To rile up the internet on Megan and frame her as an evil racist, she then claims that Megan calls a female rapper she collaborates with a Mexican. I feel so uncomfortable saying those words. She says, the nickname you got for your homegirl that rap? Tell everybody the nickname you got for her. A racist nickname for a person you do songs with. Don't you call her that Mexican? The internet wasn't having it, with one user replying back, making up lies still won't change Megan's law, by the way, and another saying she also said her husband's innocent, just a liar. She continues on Stationhead saying, "You let everyone be thrown under the bus. You let the baby be thrown under the bus. Tori, your best friend, your mom. You better go conjure up your mother and apologize. That's disgusting." How do you say conjure up your mother to apologize and the phrase "that's disgusting" in one sentence in all seriousness? But she continues saying, "How many of abusers have you sucked knowingly? Bringing up 30-year-old T from when a man was 15 being lied on is not the flex you think it is. Constantly mentioning a man who isn't an artist isn't on social media. It just shows me you have nothing. Like your flows, you are still learning how to rap, and that's the truth."
What?
So Nicki's claiming that her husband was being lied on, but girl, didn't he plead guilty in court? Matter of fact, in July of 2022, yes, less than 2 years ago, Kenneth Petty was sentenced to 3 years of probation and 1 year of home detention for failing to register as an offender, according to the U.S. Attorney's Office. He was also ordered to pay a $55,000 fine by a Los Angeles judge. In September 2021, he pleaded guilty to failing to register as an offender in California as part of a plea agreement. According to the original federal indictment, he moved to California in July 2019. He was required to register as an offender within 5 working days of moving to the state, but according to the indictment, he did not. So no one is lying about your husband, Nicki. He's still facing court charges because he isn't following the law, regardless of how many years later it has been. Nicki then tweeted another novel about Megan, writing, "Y'all wanna bring up family members and lying on your dead mother? Lied to Gail, lied on, and to your best friend, man. Told me to drink and go to the clinic if I was pregnant. All because I wouldn't let your funky butt pour liquor down my throat? Think she a bully cause she get a Rock Nation brunch every year. Be mad at Party. He told all your tea, but you taking shots at my family? Bwahaha, get up on yo good foot. Hashtag Pink Friday 2 Platinum. Go apologize to your mother, nasty serpent. Repent." I have no words. I have no words. So here, Nicki is taking shots at Megan for the drama and shooting with Kelsey Nicole and Tory Lanez that ended with Tory serving a 10-year sentence. So if anything, this shows that Nicki was really tuned in during the trial, where it was revealed that Megan slept with Tory after supposedly telling Kelsey to pursue Tory, and the night of the shooting, she was super jealous that Tory was allegedly flirting with Kylie Jenner at Kylie's house, while Kelsey was sick with COVID, and then in the car, Megan and Kelsey were having a fight, and then there's a debate of who shot Megan. That entire story and trial is a long mess, so I don't want to get too off topic, but that's some context for this. But I laugh at Nicki because she is trying to get whoever she can on her side, because then she quoted a tweet that wrote, "I feel so bad for Kelsey," and said, "God bless this woman. In all seriousness, this woman was tormented on the internet relentlessly while pregnant with her first child by her best friend who could have easily told people to stop. The girl's girl, lying lipo best friend man. Sad yo." Let me take a moment before I go in because this is wild. Nicki trying to act like, "Oh my god, God bless you, Kelsey, I'm so sorry you're dealing with that horrible woman," is so hilarious because ain't no way you're trying to pretend like you're nice and you care for Kelsey so much and you aren't using her as a pawn in your one-sided battle against Megan. Second of all, you know who else was tormented on the internet relentlessly right after she gave birth to her first child, which was aided on by her best friend? Leanne. She had just given birth before she got attacked by Nicki, who told her to shove up her ass, all for Jessie Nelson. So it is truly hilarious how much of a hypocrite she is.
Soon after giving birth to my twins, I found myself caught up in a horrific online row. It was one of the most difficult moments I can remember throughout my career. I was a new mum, dealing with the mental and physical aftermath of pregnancy and birth, flooded with hormones and emotion, severely sleep deprived, and on top of all of that, I also had to deal with this. Even when I put my phone away and refused to look at it, there was still this underlying anxiety about what was happening online.
Now let's talk about whether or not Megan told Nicki to drink while she was pregnant, because Nicki contradicts herself during her unhinged rant on Twitter. One Barb tells Nicki, "Do you know what's worse? She told you all that bull while you were pregnant. You were a person who knew how to deal with it. What if there are women who have already been advised by her in silence?" Basically saying that Nicki knew how to deal with Megan for allegedly telling her to drink while pregnant, while other women may not have been so strong. Please. To which Nicki says, "I wasn't preggers yet though, babe. I told that funky serpent though." So you lied and told Megan you were pregnant, and now you're claiming that you weren't actually pregnant? Then she tries to take the attention away from that part in order to frame Megan as a cheater because she ends the tweet, which she deleted by the way, saying, "At the end of the night before I leave, I look up, she's standing on the balcony with French Montana. Thought Moneybag was her boyfriend at the time, so I was so confused."
Why do you care though?
And then on Instagram Live, she starts talking about how Nicki is the type to be happy for everyone.
I always feel genuinely happy for someone when I see them in love.
Sure, Jan.
And then reiterates the story of how Megan, the 20-something-year-old, is pressuring the 40-something-year-old to drink.
This evil, demonic serpent said, even on camera, after I tried to tell her off camera, hey, no, I can't do that, I'm not drinking, you know.
And then get this, she tries to accuse Megan of having her attention on Nicki's husband.
And then, even in the video, you could see her attention is on my husband. Go and watch the video on Twitter. This is the type of woman that can't wait to be around someone's man.
Nicki reminds me of those girls who have the most interesting looking man who no one really wants anything to do with, and they're like, oh my god, everybody wants my man. It's a girl stand up. She then shares a link to Megan's ex-boyfriend Partisan Fontaine's diss track about Megan Thee Stallion called The Person, and says, "Run it up, hotties," which is what Megan calls her supporters. Party is referencing a track where Megan insinuates that she got cheated on, so he says that he wanted to make this song about Megan to give context and that what Megan said was a loose interpretation of what really happened. But Megan was quick to go on Instagram Live to say that she wasn't talking about him.
I don't have anything bad to say about my ex. I genuinely don't. Like, if I'm not talking about you, why are you talking about me? You say I didn't cheat, so why you thought that bar was for you? And if it wasn't you, why the hell is you talking to me? That doesn't make sense.
And again, does Nicki keep tabs on Megan? Like, how do you know every single thing that's happened in her life? And who released what diss about her and why, and all the little details? She then congratulates Ben Shapiro on hitting #1 on US iTunes because he sided with her. You know you're on the wrong side of history and you must be a horrible person if Ben Shapiro, of all people, is backing you up. Fans were very offended by this because Ben Shapiro has talked badly and promoted a really offensive rhetoric about certain types of people who predominantly make up Nicki's fan base. Nicki then tags Megan in a new tweet saying, "You scary ass broke ass hoe. Scared of me putting a song out but trying to spar with the mother queen. Lied on yo dead."
Please, just give us a break. Please just give us a break.
Then she tweets another novel saying, "The ain't get streamed in 84 years. Her team don't want me to drop because they know those numbers gonna embarrass her lying lipo. And she know I got proof of what she did. And after how she allowed her best girlfriend to be bullied, attacked, and ripped to shreds while Kelsey was pregnant with her first child, after she had her best friend man, it wasn't enough. But this is y'all's girl's girl, right? Any mother taking this woman's side, may God strike you down. Don't want me to drop because you gotta have a ghostwriting session for another week to get back to me. I had the song/beat for 6 years, not like a hit Juju eat for What a scary yikes. Hashtag Prank Friday 2 is platinum." She then reveals that she didn't charge Megan for her verse on Hot Girl Summer, saying, "Didn't charge her for the Hot Girl Summer verse that I recorded the night she begged to go on my live, but it's okay, my Pluto charged her $250K for his verse." First of all, during this time, like 2019, 2018 era, Nicki was underperforming badly, and honestly, I felt like she was trying to hop on any sort of relevant artist to kind of revive her career back in the era of TikTok and stuff like that. So, if anything, I honestly think that she wanted to be on Hot Girl Summer, kind of like the way she is chilling with Ice Spice now and kind of jumping on that bandwagon. But I digress. However, fans were quick to hit back saying, Beyonce also didn't charge Megan for her #1 Grammy-winning Savage verse hit, but you don't see Beyonce hanging that over Megan's head and expecting some blind loyalty. And then she says that her verse to clap back at Megan's one-liner, which didn't really mention Nicki at all, had been ready for 2 days, writing, "It's been ready for 2 days. Just was trying to be cool and let her get her lil streams. Wasn't gonna say anything. But I remember how everyone kept my name in their mouth, and how I said the next person mentioned my family, gonna regret it." By the way, they haven't even heard the song. Who said it's even a diss? Never even knew I had this much power. Didn't charge her for the
Hot Girl Summer verse that I recorded the night she begged to go on my live. It's okay, Pluto charged her $250K for his verse. Wahahaha, hashtag Prank Friday 2, hashtag Gag City.
She then claps back at the entertainment page Pop Base, who wrote cover art for Nicki Minaj's Megan Thee Stallion diss track Bigfoot, to which Nicki quotes their tweet and says, "Who the f said diss track? Don't play tonight, fix your tweet." To which Pop Base replies back and says, "Well, what do you call it then?" A tweet that garners more than double the likes in comparison to Nicki's tweet. Mind you, Bigfoot is a diss track that takes several direct shots at Megan. She even promotes the song with a picture of Megan's face. Like, this is literally crazy. And if that wasn't enough, she says, "After the first one drop, if that so much as breathe wrong, I'ma empty the clip. If that thing I say, I'm posting every receipt known to man. 5, yes you heard me, did 5 extra songs. We've been waiting on you. Play hashtag Pink Friday 2 nonstop Barbs love you." And on Bigfoot, she attempts to diss Megan in a number of ways. She says, "You get shot with no scar," in regards to the Tory Lanez shooting. She also says, "You better stop the dialogue before I hit Carl and buy your catalog," which is in reference to Megan's fallout with Certified Entertainment CEO Carl Crawford and all of that label drama. This is also funny considering Lil Wayne reportedly sold the entire Young Money catalog, including Nicki Minaj and Drake's music, for $100 million. Nicki then started claiming that Megan is lying about being from Houston.
And why would you call yourself a Houston anything if you are from San Antonio? Huh? At what age would you have had to move somewhere to consider yourself? Houston is not even where you are from. Oh my God. San Antonio? Romeo, I don't know. Romeo.
Number 1, why does she care? And number 2, she's acting like she has some hot tea when Megan herself clarifies where she was born.
So, Stallion, please explain why everyone's saying you from San Antonio. I'm 100% from Houston, Texas, but my mother was pregnant with me in Houston. My grandmother is from San Antonio, and she was like, "You need to come have this baby in San Antonio." So my mama drove to San Antonio, had me in the hospital, and took me right back to the age. Posted.
So that's as much as I can cover from Nicki's mental breakdown, but let's continue. Nicki wants all the shine and praise. For over 10 years, I have been blogging and posting about celebrities, and I have seen Nicki Minaj feud with nearly every single female rapper who came onto the scene, oftentimes without a real argument. It's simply based on the fact that she feels like she's more deserving, and if the female rapper doesn't basically pay their respects to Nicki Minaj and talk about how she's the reason they even pursued female rap, suddenly you're catching a stray on Twitter.
I've done nothing to you. Yeah, you are. It's delusional to say that other girls are flourishing. Recognize we weren't giving the platforms that we're being given right now. And I give you props all the time in every other interview for opening the door for that to be a possibility now.
Okay. So what is conclusion? What do you think you wanna say about, let's let you finish your statement about what female rappers were doing before and what they're doing now.
Nicki is a rap legend, and she gets credit for that, but as the years have gone by and new female rappers have taken the industry by storm, you'll see Nicki standing high and mighty on social media, demanding some sort of credit to their fame and career. Nicki herself said that she believes that rap and hip-hop have been watered down by other artists, and she predicts that the industry's downfall is a result of letting everyone in. She also firmly believes that she is one of the best rappers and has set the place in the industry. I agree that the industry can get a bit saturated, especially with social media crowning a new trending song every single day, but Nicki being upset that she's now one out of many female rappers says a lot more about her insecurity and projection than it does about the industry. But this didn't seem to be the case at first with Nicki and Megan. When Meg was a new girl in town, her and Nicki seemed to be on the same page, with Nicki even featuring on Megan's song Hot Girl Summer, which became a pop culture saying with every summer rolling around. However, fans noticed a shift in Nicki after Megan collaborated with Cardi B on the #1 hit song WAP the following year in 2020. The feud after the Cardi B collab. It's safe to say that Nicki and Cardi do not like each other, and it started with Nicki as it usually does. Fans even noticed the parallels between everything that Nicki was accusing Megan of. She ran through the same play-by-play with Cardi B. One user writes, it was Cardi, now it's Megan. It was Atlantic Records, now it's Rock Nation. It was let's both film ourselves writing verses / freestyling. Now it's streaming numbers and who's on the charts. It was Payola, now it's Paid Moles. Same words, different font, she's pulling out the same tired excuses. This feud also brought up Cardi B's tweet from 2022 saying, let's guess the next step, a diss track that's going to be mass bought on iTunes and going to chart on Twitter. And it's true. Up until WAP dropped, it seemed like Nicki and Megan had a great friendship, with Nicki praising and supporting Megan. Immediately after that song's release, that's when Nicki started getting shady. At first, people weren't really sure if the shade was for Megan, but over the years, it became more and more obvious, but Nicki never straight out said Megan's name, so people were still skeptical. And Nicki's meltdowns on Twitter definitely prove all the shade Nicki has thrown the past couple of years, because you can tell that this was bubbling up in her for so long. And after WAP dropped, Megan gave an interview at the time where she said that Cardi had grown to be like a sister. Interestingly enough, she also mentioned that she and Nicki were still cordial and she had respect for her. Because I feel like whenever somebody praises or compliments a different female rapper that's not Nicki, they feel the need to be like, oh, but like Nicki Minaj is great and all, because she'll have a mental breakdown. It's like, well, how dare they praise like Cardi and not me? She even had this same feud falling out with Lotto, I don't know how to say her name, but she was also like, Nicki, I don't know what you want me to say, and Nicki was going on a whole unhinged rant. So I don't think that Megan expected Nicki to get mad at her for doing a song with Cardi, which is seen in what she says in Hiss. She raps, I don't really know what the problem is, but I guarantee y'all don't want me to start. And from Nicki's tweets, you can tell that she's kind of grasping at straws. All she's doing is defending Tory Lanez and Kelsey. Like, I'm sorry, were you hired as their lawyer? This was already settled in court. And as I explained earlier, Nicki has shown tendencies where she thinks that female rappers owe her some sort of loyalty for paving the way and doesn't want anyone working with those that she hates. And as we know, Cardi B wasn't one to take it quietly from Nicki. They literally got into a physical altercation at the Met Gala where Nicki was seen shielded in a corner from security as Cardi was being held back.
This is my thing, Nicki Minaj, right? How you say that I was the wild animal, that I attacked you, that you was mortified, that you was humiliated, playing the victim, but now you're the gangster. You need to pick a side. Do you want to be the victim or do you want to be the gangster? You lie so much you can't even keep up with your lies. First you're saying that you got the footage, your cameraman got the footage, but now you're talking about you want to pay somebody $100,000 if they give you the footage? Yo, makes sense when you talking.
Nicki is a problem. Right before all this beef with Megan, Nicki was feuding with fans on TikTok. She even went out of her way to DM this one creator on TikTok who posts about celebrity blinds, telling her once ugly disease allegedly is being paid to get uglier. And everyone was like, what does that even mean? Then she proceeded to leave multiple comments under this creator's video, accusing her of allegedly sleeping with some executive and conspiring against her and just a whole bunch of nonsense. She also commented under one video on TikTok saying, if it's one thing Massa gonna do is train black women to silence black women, reverse psychology after years of bullying and harassment. Oh, now we want to bring race into this as if she didn't post an AI gorilla with a bandaged foot which was supposed to resemble Megan. And she has been harassing Megan over her height and feet. She wants to talk about bullying and harassment, but called Megan a nasty serpent more times than one could count. At this point, people are tired of Nicki Minaj. A blog called The Hub wrote an article about Nicki and said, with a fan base so shielding, it is hard for someone to be held accountable for their actions in and outside of the booth. An audience that will clap loudly no matter what they are presented with is not an audience whose concern is about the art nearly as much as the addictive and nostalgic connection they have with the artist that does not even know them. The codependency makes it hard for either party to continue to evolve. That is the perfect way to describe toxic stan culture and the lengths they'll go to defend and amp someone on who is very clearly in the wrong. Nicki was so out of line with what she said to fans on TikTok to the point where TikTok themselves reached out with a warning saying they're going to take down her account. Oh, but did that stop Nicki? Nope. She started going on a conspiracy theory about how they're out to get her. It's like, did you stop and take a look at the type of behavior you were spreading and promoting? One Barb writes, the TikTok accounts and videos are being deleted, people getting doxxed. Oh, Nicki and the Barbs will win every single time. It's like, this is not a joke. Reddit users are not amused with one writing, Nicki has been this way for a long time. She's been dominating rap as a woman for a long time, and now that there are more women rappers coming in the field, she feels threatened and can't take it. She will do songs with other rappers and then turn around and diss them, aka Cardi, Megan, and etc. This recent beef between Megan started with the stay in your Tory lanes line in FTCU. Then Meg responded with Megan's law line, a far more superior line, and now Nicki has gone off the deep end. I would feel bad for Nicki if she wasn't such a trash person. Another user says, Nicki mocking Meg for being a victim of while Meg takes a dig at Nicki for being married to a sex offender whose charges involved a child. I once loved Nicki, but she is damn near 40. She's actually 41. Why is she so sensitive and insecure? Imagine marrying a pedophile and then being so hurt and upset when someone you insult mentions that you're married to a pedophile. This is all so crazy, and I feel like this is just the beginning. Well, that's all for this video. Be sure to let me know your thoughts on this feud down below. Are you team Megan? Are you team Nicki? How do you feel as a Nicki fan? Am I a Nicki fan? Pull up in the street. Just kidding.
Am I a Nicki fan? Pull up in the Sri Lanka. What?
But yeah, let me know what you think. I'm honestly really disappointed in Nicki and the behavior she's promoting online. It's one thing to be a rapper and diss others. It's another to do even a fourth of what she's doing. It's sad, but I live for the drama. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content each week. Turn on those post notifications so you don't miss the live chat we do for every video. And without further ado, I'll see you next time.